Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today I'd like to talk about Total War Warhammer 3 and its final map. Specifically what size I'm hoping for it to be when it gets released, and no, I'm not talking about the narrative campaign that normally gets launched with the release of the game, but instead the one that should come shortly after. The super mega big Mortal Empires. I don't know what they're actually going to call it, but I'm going to give it that name for now. What we're seeing on screen at the moment is a fan-made map for whatever the Total War Warhammer 3 Mortal Empires map should be in the eyes of this person, and to be honest, I'd like to see this sized map too. And yes, there could be some problems with this map, but we'll cover that later on in the video. But first, let's look at the reasons why this would be the perfect map for the end of the series. Total War Warhammer 3 will be Creative Assembly's last game for the Warhammer Fantasy Battles series. Obviously, there will be DLC coming out afterwards, but in terms of base game, that's it. What better way to celebrate the end of the series with a gigantic mega campaign that actually engulfs the whole Warhammer world? It's pretty much every Warhammer Fantasy fan's greatest goal to lead a map-wide campaign, and unfortunately it's not able to be done so, considering the fact that obviously Warhammer Fantasy for the moment is dead. We're still waiting for the old world, and that's going to take about 2-3 years. This would also be a complete world to conquer, which I'm sure many Total War fans would like that too. Naturally, spreading to the far east of the map, which is the part that most people find unlikely, would also open up the opportunity to see new races being implemented into the game, for example, Ind, Caffey, Nippon, and so on, which right now those races have little to no lore and very little units established in the lore. However, we do know that Games Workshop is working very closely with Creative Assembly to create new units, where we've seen this happen with the Norska roster and the Vampire Coast, so who's to say that we won't see those races come into effect sooner or later? The fans of the series are being very vocal about wanting these obscure races in the game, and both Creative Assembly and Games Workshop know that they can capitalize this. If both of these companies know that there's a big enough demand for these races, they'd be more inclined to actually start working on these race packs, considering the fact that they'd obviously be wanting more cash. Businesses are obviously here to make money, and if they can see that the fans are demanding it and there's enough incentive to create these races, which I imagine is a lot of hours put in by not just Creative Assembly but also Games Workshop, since they have to make sure it is also lore friendly, they have to make sure that it's actually going to sell enough to justify this. But that being said, I believe that they're both keeping an eye out on what the fans want, and if we're vocal enough, we'll probably get what we want in terms of that. Naturally, it could be very possible that we might not get the full world map. We have seen a few other fan-made maps which make more realistic sense, but we're going to actually look towards the other maps now. The map that you can see on screen right now is actually that of the Russian data leak. Many believe this will be the third and final game, however I'm here to debunk that theory, considering the fact that if we look towards the very far right at the bottom, right where Deathmaster Snitch is right now, if you notice, that is the territory that is already playable. Working up north, there's not a lot of territory there. It would actually be a fraction of what the old world is, and not just the Mortal Empires. If anything, the land that's currently not playable in this map is actually going to be for the pre-order race bonus, or maybe for another DLC pack or two, but I'm pretty sure that this is not the game-free map. Not by a long shot. It's way too small in the terms of the missing playable area, and that's not going to be enough to fit a few races, especially since currently, one of the 8th edition armies that are currently missing are the Demons of Chaos, and none of those territories actually represent the lands belonging to the Demons of Chaos. You'd have to go either far north or far east. The map on screen right now is the current Mortal Empires map, and as you can see, like I said before, it's very small area that is currently unplayable, and that wouldn't be enough locations, say for example the Ogre Kingdoms and the Chaos Demons, let alone the Chaos Dwarves if they actually become a race pack, or a baseline race for Game 3, considering the fact that all other games have had 4 races to start off with. Indeed, I think that the Datamine map was actually just the representation for the Mortal Empires map, seeing as the fact that they were quite heavily into development for Game 1 and 2 when they actually started announcing the project. But moving back to the fan-made map, we can also see some problems with this, so let's just go into them. Naturally, a map of this size would mean that campaigns would take ages. Not in a normal sense, of course. In most cases, these campaign mechanics usually keep you around the same area where you've spawned, and will very rarely send you off to other places unless you're looking for the long campaign victory. But I, like many other Total War players, like to paint the whole map, so it usually takes a little bit of time, especially when playing on harder difficulties such as Legendary. Obviously, near the end it doesn't matter too much because you have so much income you can pretty much just make a death stack as you go, but the normal player would probably not do this. Obviously a big issue with this also is the fact that a world so large would mean larger turn times. Yes, Creative Assembly have managed to reduce the turn times dramatically, thank you for that by the way if any of you are watching, but let's be realistic here, this map is easily, what, 3-4 times the size of the Mortal Empires? Turn times would definitely get ridiculous again unless Creative Assembly have managed to figure out what was the issue causing that and can implement that further as they create new games. Another thing, which is pretty much just a minor thing, is that until new races get added in, we're going to see a lot of reskins out there. Given the fact that we'd probably see a lot of Empire reskins, Greenskin reskins, and so on, unless Creative Assembly have decided to be smart about this and started fog of warring the map like they're currently doing with these locations in the east of the Mortal Empires. Which, to be honest, is the smarter option, and we'll have to wait a while until we can actually go to these areas, but hey, I'd rather that than just seeing reskin over reskin over reskin. Yes, naturally, there are a few problems with maps this size, but hey, to be honest, I would rather deal with those problems and have a map that allows me to take over the whole world, than see a squished down version of the map which won't let me explore as much. And as I stated before, this is the last game of the 3-part series. I personally would like to see it go out in a bang. Plus, if we had the full complete world, and I'm just spitballing here, one the same size of the map on screen, imagine the possibilities that could happen in terms of DLC for the future. This is something Creative Assembly could look towards. The third and final game could have the full complete world, which would give them unlimited opportunities to go and look at any race they wanted to add in the future. I'm talking not only about Araby or the Southern Realms, but maybe the Amazons in Lustria, or maybe just something in Albion. It really depends here, but I honestly believe it could honestly open up a treasure trove of DLC possibilities. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and let's start a little bit of a discussion, shall we? But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description below, we have various links to various platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Discord, and so on, where you can get in contact with the Great Book team. You can talk to us about Total War Warhammer, or Warhammer Fantasy Battle Tabletop, or pretty much just anything. We are always happy to have a chat with you guys. Also in the description below is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based stuff, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Using our special link and the special code, which is also in the description, also supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. Honestly, it amazes us that people want to help a small channel grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to our Patreon Gibraltar LUSC for subscribing to us at our Fane level. Honestly, mate, you're super cool and we can't thank you enough. And a big thank you to all of you. Guys, the channel is growing more and more each day. We don't understand why, but it's so cool to be able to talk to so many Warhammer fans across the world. Really, we can't get enough of it, and it's actually making us feel so humble to be able to meet so many people. But with that, my friends, thank you for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.